Olexandr Usyk, undisputed at cruiserweight, unified at heavyweight, beat world champions in their backyards, took 0 easy fights, and ended every challenge the sport had to offer, with a win, all with the footwork of a ballerina and the mentality of a warrior. In this video, we're going to break down how Olexandr Usyk completed boxing twice, without ever losing. Usyk was born in 1987 in Simferopol, Crimea, back when Ukraine was still part of the Soviet Union. His path to boxing wasn't immediate. He started in football and even played in the youth system of SC Tavria Simferopol. But at 15 years old, he made a shift. He walked into a boxing gym and never looked back. From the start, it was clear Usyk wasn't your typical fighter. Southpaw stance, laser focus, creative movement. He rose through the Ukrainian amateur system like a rocket, eventually becoming a staple on the national team. His amateur career is one of the most underrated legacies in the modern era. He fought and beat top-tier talent, racking up over 300 wins. In 2006, he won bronze at the European Championships. In 2008, he moved up to light heavyweight and fell short in the Olympics. But in 2011 and 2012, he hit his peak. At the 2011 World Championships, he took gold. And at the 2012 London Olympics, he stood on top of the podium, winning the heavyweight gold medal. Usyk wasn't just a point fighter in the amateurs. He had a pro style hiding beneath that headgear. When he turned pro in 2013 under K2 Promotions, his intention was clear: to dominate. And dominate he did. He blitzed through his early fights with a maturity rarely seen in young pros. From the jump, he didn't take the soft route. In just his 10th professional fight, Usyk traveled to Poland to face the undefeated Krzysztof Kowalski, who had just dethroned Marco Huck in a war. Most young champions win their first belt at home, with every advantage stacked in their favor. Not Usyk. He went to hostile territory, boxed beautifully for 12 rounds, and became the WBO cruiserweight champion. But for Usyk, one belt was never enough. His vision wasn't to be a champion, it was to be the champion. So he signed up for the World Boxing Super Series, a tournament that many avoided. It was a high-risk, high-reward format that forced the best to fight the best. Usyk didn't flinch. His first opponent, Marco Huck in Germany. Huck was no joke. Rough, physical, experienced. Usyk picked him apart, outclassed him, and stopped him in the 10th. Next, Maris Briedis in Latvia. A slick, tough, undefeated fighter. This fight was a war, one of the best cruiserweight fights in years. It was close, it was brutal, but Usyk's jab, movement, and volume gave him the edge. He won a majority decision and added the WBC title to his collection. Then came the final test. Murat Gassiev, the Russian puncher, young, hungry, unbeaten, and fighting in Moscow. On paper, it was a 50-50 fight. In the ring, it was a masterclass. Usyk put on one of the most beautiful boxing displays of the modern era. He barely got touched. Jabs, angles, feints. Gassiev looked frozen. By the final bell, the result was obvious. Usyk had won every round. He was now the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. Only 4 men had done that in history, but none did it in just 15 fights. None did it by going to their opponents' backyards every time. Usyk had completed the cruiserweight division. Now most fighters would sit back, defend a belt or two, maybe call it a career. But Usyk isn't most fighters. He did something very few dare to do. He moved up to heavyweight. The jump from cruiserweight to heavyweight isn't just about size. It's about physics. It's about taking punches from guys 30 to 40 pounds heavier than you. You don't just fight bigger men, you fight different men. Usyk's first heavyweight fight was against Chaz Witherspoon. It wasn't elite competition, but it was a solid test. Usyk danced circles around him, eventually forcing a corner stoppage. But critics were loud. He's too small. He won't make it against real heavyweights. So Usyk took a real challenge. He signed to fight Derek Chisora, a veteran of the heavyweight division. Strong, physical, relentless. Chisora came to fight and he made it ugly. He charged forward, cut off the ring, and tried to rough Usyk up. And while Usyk didn't dominate, he controlled the fight, used his movement, stayed composed, and won a unanimous decision. Still, people had doubts. Because while Chisora was game, he wasn't elite. So when the opportunity came to fight Anthony Joshua, the unified heavyweight champion, most thought Usyk was biting off more than he could chew. Joshua was bigger, stronger, younger, had knockout power in both hands. The fight took place in London. Over 60,000 fans packed Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It was meant to be a celebration for AJ, but Usyk had other plans. From the opening bell, it was clear Usyk wasn't there to survive. He was there to win. His footwork gave Joshua problems immediately. He beat AJ to the jab, landed straight lefts at will, and frustrated him all night. In the 12th round, Usyk nearly stopped him. The judges didn't need long. Usyk had won clearly. He was now the WBA, IBF, and WBO heavyweight champion of the world. He'd done it again. A second weight class, another division completed. No losses, no ducking, no shortcuts, just pure boxing brilliance. But greatness is tested in rematches. Joshua invoked his rematch clause. This time the fight was in Saudi Arabia, and this time Joshua had adjusted. He came in leaner, smarter, and with a new strategy. And for a few rounds it worked. Joshua went to the body, picked his spots, and even looked like he might take over. But Usyk adjusted again. In the second half of the fight, he picked up the pace, switched angles, landed clean combinations, and broke Joshua's rhythm. It was close, but Usyk did enough. He retained his belts, still undefeated. And all the while, back home in Ukraine, Usyk was dealing with real-life war. He'd returned to his homeland during the Russian invasion. He joined a territorial defense unit. His people were fighting for their lives, yet he returned to the ring and carried their flag on his shoulders. That's more than just boxing. That's heroic. Now only one man remains, Tyson Fury, the WBC champion, the lineal king, a master boxer in his own right, taller, heavier, unorthodox, confident. If Usyk beats Fury, he becomes the first undisputed heavyweight champion of the four-belt era. The first since Lennox Lewis, and arguably the greatest cruiserweight to heavyweight transition ever. But even without the Fury fight, what Usyk's done is legendary. He's fought on the road his whole career. He's never dodged a name. He's unified titles at two weights, and he's still undefeated. That's not just a good resume, that's a complete one. A resume that says, I didn't just win, I finished the game. So when we talk about the greats, when we bring up Mayweather, Pacquiao, Roy Jones, Hopkins, Canelo, put some respect on Olexandr Usyk's name, because he didn't just chase belts, he took all of them. He didn't wait for legacy, he built it. And he didn't just fight to win, he fought to complete boxing twice.